experience. I mean,
be
very careful.
Top tier ladies up here.
Yeah,
Shout out to
top-tier
Metroid Dread, by the way. That game's fire as hell.
Yeah, I can't say the same for Kid Icarus. No games have came out since I don't even know when. But no representation of Kid Icarus. But we do have a Palutena here in winter semifinals in Gen, who has been dominating the field. You already saw what he was able to do against Adamus, and he's just going to continue on that same energy from then to now. 42% right off the back to start off this game.
Yeah, the best thing about ZSS in multiple matchups is how good she is at poking. Because she can poke with Zair, and she can cross you up with up air, and having that frame one jab, always able to play at this perfect mid-range. The problem in a matchup like this then becomes, how do you stay at that mid-range when Palutena is so fast and one of the best air-to-air characters in the game, period? It's going to be tricky, but we're gonna have to watch how Webb plays around Gen and how he's able to pick holes in Gen's offense. Because not many combos are 100% true, especially against Zero Suit Samus. Because if you drop anything ever so slightly, that flip jump's coming out.
Yeah, I think if you're Zero Suit in this case, you want Palutena to be above you as much as possible. You want to take advantage of one of Palu's even better moves in her arsenal.
Have a bad move.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard to say that it's a bad move. I mean most of Palutena's options are very solid, but the more that you have Palutena in the air, the more that you're able to capitalize on the ground game as well. Especially utilizing that Zair to your advantage. You have a little bit more space and tools over Palutena, but the more that you touch her shield, the more that you put yourself in those kind of predicaments to just take a few hits. Yeah, you're going to be in for a rough time. Already 62% off the back.
And I love how Gen just was able to handle all of that corner pressure that Webb was showing off. He's like, all right, I'm going to parry this cross-up up air. Woo! Okay, what a change. What a turnaround from Webb. Just after getting all of his pressure just completely negated and taking a quick 75, that's the type of tone shift that he really needed. But here we are back into neutral as he gets
Something tells me that was not the proper DI as well, and that's going to cost him the stock. Yeah, at 108%, yeah, it's probable that it could have killed, but you know what? Just by the way that he was angled, the way that he was going, didn't seem like the best DI in the world. But you know what? Gen is going to run away with that one, and he's still tacking on damage.
Yeah, he's running away with this whole game right now. Just finding dash attack after dash attack, catching these landings. The best thing about Webb in this game one has been his rising fairs have been really on point, but it's been rising fair into reset neutral. Like, it's not been something that Gen has allowed Webb to start rolling with and kind of fall victim to ZSS's speed. He knows he's playing a fast character in and of himself, and these full hop aerials are ready and able to cover all of that space. Speaking of covering space.
Catching the last few frames of the invincibility on the ledge hang is going to be Gen. That was great reaction as well. I mean, sometimes you already know that you're going to connect it, but it's also just praying that your opponent just doesn't go for a get-up option right there as well. But Gen just being one step ahead of Webb.
Names are swapped, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Webb got a haircut.
Goated song. Cosmo Canyon. Love it.
I'm going to be honest. Never played a Final Fantasy game.
That's okay.
But what I have played is Metroid Dread. That's a game that I do recommend to you guys to play if you haven't yet. And hopefully some representation of the ZSS will be shown in the stage. That is Northern Cave. It is a legal stage. It is a stage that may not be heavily requested by many people. But you know what? We're using it this time, and it seems to be a good counterpick stage for a character like ZSS.
Yeah, it's Kalos, but without the full center and with a little bit of a smaller blast zones. So you get all the benefits of the platform layout without having the struggle from Zero Suit where it's like, man, killing on Kalos is that much harder with a character that already has to commit a little bit harder to kill.
It's kind of interesting that Webb would still opt to go to a stage like this. Characters like ZSSs do not thrive on flat stages, and most of the stage, despite the platforms at literally the corner of these stages, it doesn't really benefit ZSS too much, and it actually gives characters like Palutena chances to just edge guard you better. You're either going to land on that platform or you're going to be landing right at the ledge grounded. So you know what, Gen, just keeping where he left off, just getting all that damage and getting the first stock.
And I think that's really what Webb wanted. Like, Webb wanted these platforms because he doesn't want to fall into some of these down tilt traps that he had before. On top of, Zero Suit's got some pretty nice aerials of herself. She's able to play around these platforms all the same that Palutena is. He just needs to find his tempo. He needs to find his groove. And maybe a little bit too much groove was that up air into the boost kick. As, man, if you give Jen and she really just takes a mile. It's 57 like it was nothing.
Oh my god, and catching him with the up B kick is Webb as he barely takes that stock. I mean, he had the right call out, and it was the right positioning right there too. So you know what, Webb is going to run away with that one. He still has a slight deficit, but you know what, the pressure is finally being applied. Webb is finally doing exactly what he wanted to do from games 1, getting a few grabs in, getting a few hits in as well, and keeping it as close as he can until Jen just regains that neutral and center stage.
Yeah, and I love how Webb has been very focused on being able to find ways to keep his Vortex going, even if it's nothing that is, like, he's not getting a true follow-up, right? That's where all these back throws are coming in, and I really like that that idea from Webb. It's like, I know Zero Suit can fly across the stage and be wherever she wants to be in a drop of a hat, so might as well make the most out of that instead of just slowly put options in a box. Let's be modular. Let's be dynamic as we confront this matchup against one of the characters that is able to shut down game plans so thoroughly, as that B reverse paralyzer does in fact take the stock, being much more flexible in this game too, and rewarding in the latter half.
Yeah, we haven't really been seeing Webb confirm those paralyzers as much as he would like to, whether it's with the neutral B or the down smash setups. But you know, they've been paying off in this game, and he's finally taking full advantage as he has the lead slightly to begin this game. I mean, nothing to be too comfortable with as he sits at kill percent very soon.
Very, very kill percent.
Wow, double parry, but the multi-hit of Fair is going to save Webb in that situation. Once again, having Jen in the corner, not a position that you've seen Jen too often in the set.
Yeah, Jen is kind of playing off the back foot a little bit. All these he's like suddenly started getting whiff punished like a ton more. Webb just playing the center, and maybe that's what he wanted out of this. He still has the platforms for platform pressure, but when he wants to play center stage, that's where DSS and her incredible jump height has been so depth, as that was such a good sequence. Just repeated back and forth, rising Fair. Doesn't matter if he gets the first hit, the second hit, or both. He's putting Palutena off stage, and he's putting her in a repeat situation. And lather, rinse, repeat is what got the job done in game 3. In game 2. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of those stocks were taken with those beautiful up Bs from. I mean, just a coverage right there from WebbJP. Just understanding, yeah, you're gonna up B at this spot, and you're going to do it when I decide to, and yeah, just catching his get up option right there too. I mean, everything just went perfect for Webb in that game too. But now we are going back to PS2 for game 3, a stage where you kind of saw Jen run away with, but hopefully now that the pacing is finally been solved on the end of WebbJP, hopefully he can keep up with it this time.
Yeah, he just can't get a little bit too happy with the cross-ups. Jen has been routinely punishing cross-ups all over the place against Webb, so something you have to be careful for. If you're Webb, you can't just go in an offensive tear, but speaking of,
he went for the ladder. It could have worked.
It almost did.
It was right there. Like you saw that it could have paid off if Jen was not prepared for it. But you know what? Jen is one step ahead, but nothing's going to save him from that up B out of shield. Really barely survived though.
Yeah, that DI looked like it was prepped, but the up smash, a classic gambit from many Zero Suit Samus players. That big up smash scoop, it lingers for a long time, full damage. And taking the stock is Webb. Now this is his 4th stock unabated without dropping 1. Pretty solid stuff from Webb just to go on such a tear.
Yeah, still a good recovery right there from Webb, evading himself from getting punished right there. Down throw is not going to set up for much, but catching the jump is Jen. That is not an option that you see many Palus go for often. So it was definitely something that, you know, it was kind of like if you do this, I win the exchange. But like, yeah, these are the kind of unorthodox plays that, you know, you got to be prepared for. It's like, if this happens, you know what, it pays off. And I don't look too stupid doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Zero Suit player. Zero Suit likes to jump. So trying to find a jump at disadvantage, as we just saw, he punished a jump from ledge. And almost was able to get a ledge situation off of that, but Webb was able to be a little bit more flexible in getting off the stage, and Jen is back here finding his rhythm again, finding a way to resume his controlling stance as he powers right through Zaire, but not able to find a proper punish off of it. This game is super even, and a quick teleport angle. I love that idea from Jen. You've been getting punished for going to ledge so much. Might as well try and force your way on a platform and see how Webb reacts to it, because any reaction is data.
Oh, and the mind games being put into play right now. That's the conditioning coming into play right now. Sometimes it's not about just punishing your opponent for those kind of moves. It's sometimes trying to get a little bit more knowledge. Hey, if I go for his down throw, let me see what you do. Because now I know what to do for the next time I'm able to get it. He saved his jump. Gonna barely make it back on stage. 134% to 106. Both these characters barely gonna survive much longer, as that backer is gonna put Webb in a bad predicament.
Yeah, Jen getting the punish on the overshot aerial from Webb. Jen has been playing incredibly well at just finding ways to land hits by undershooting his aerials more often. But Webb, when faced with the challenge of how far do I have to chase you, his response is usually, how far? He's been running down Jen from one side of the PS2 to the other and making the most out of every spot he's been given. But that same chase down nets Jen the stock off of that dash attack, punishing the dash away from Webb.
Yeah, something I've been noticing Jen try to go for a lot, especially when he has had WebbJP off stage, and it's good that Webb has finally caught onto it, is the tri-state twist. You know, he's gonna be at the he's waiting at the ledge specifically for your get up option to be a normal get up, probably even a get up attack. But you know what, Webb has been so smart in just avoiding those situations, making sure that he lives a little bit longer, because Palu, yeah, she's waiting for you at the ledge just so she can grab you and throw you from behind. But still, a pretty even game right now. The Nair's going to put Jen in a good position, almost costing him the stock right there. Is WebbJP going for a raw dare.
Yeah, rough stuff. And I love a little bit of ledge play, a little bit of mix-ups on that front, but nothing that Jen feels the need to interact with. And I feel like that's where Webb is starting to falter in the latter half of this game 3, is that he's been doing all this stuff, and Jen is looking at him in the face and saying, okay, I don't care about this. Like, I'm only going to really act and approach when you give me something to approach to. Which, all this ledge play is great, and I love the tether cancel. That was something he hadn't shown off, but at this point you really have to wonder, like, how many of those can...
Oh my
Wait
God.
a minute, okay.
Yeah, it could have been really bad, but a good mashing right there. I mean, he was still at mid%, so, you know, the mash was already going to happen, but you know what? The punish game wasn't there for Webb, and the punish is there for Jen to take game 3, put him in a 2-1 scenario right now.
Yeah, he looked for this up air afterwards, and I like the idea. He knows the mash is coming, but not only a good mash, but a buffer air dodge specifically to the platform, then a drop through platform bear that's really hard to mess with. Like Jen keeping himself safe even at the very end. As we move on to game 4 now. Solid stuff. This set has been so good so far. And stage like Smashville is only going to make it that much better. This limits the amount of range that Jen can dash back with, because Jen's been doing a lot of stuff where he's been undershooting and kind of expecting Webb to try and come into that mid-range and poke. But not on a stage like Smashville. Can't be doing that so reliably.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, change of scenery, you're going to see a lot less real estate to work around for both these characters. Something that ZSS is going to excel on, though, is putting a lot more pressure in a character like Palutena and giving Jen less space to move, but it seems like it's not even phasing Jen. He's taking full advantage. He's going to continuously put ZSS off stage as much as possible and continue keeping that neutral in his favor.
Shielding the flip jump, but no proper punish. Jen respecting the mobility that Webb has in the air and that he's been showing off all day. Another attempt at a falling up air. Oh, I love that coverage too. Catching the teleport in. He's really made Jen reconsider some of his edge guarding flowchart, or some of his flowcharts to get back to the ledge. Because these recoveries, as we saw, the teleports were getting stuffed out when attempted to go to ledge, but the recoveries high, just the same.
Yep. Both these players, yeah, not wanting to really make the first approach. You see Jen sitting at kill percent right now. knowing that he has to put a little bit more on the board if he wants to put himself in a position to take the stock from Webb. But still, back air is going to put Webb in a bad scenario, barely escaping that explosive flame.
So very much lacking resources, but finding his tether back to stage was huge for Webb. Able to reset everything, and here we are again. That Zerath was cute, but the deep, well, quote-unquote DP from Jen, just finding himself back to the ground by DIing down, going for an up tilt with super clutch. Drop from Halo kill. What are you gonna do?
Hey, sometimes you just gotta take. Sometimes you just gotta take that hit, man. And Jen is gonna have to just accept it. Gonna have to regain neutral. But seems like Webb slightly starting to bring this back. I've been seeing a lot more raw attacks coming out from Jen. I don't know if they're misinputs, but they're definitely just things that are not close to hitting. Like, why are you throwing it out?
I feel like he's doing so just to threaten airspace. Like, Palutena's neutral air is not a very committal button, despite it being, even on whiff. You're able to cover, but in doing so, you're able to cover so much of Smashville with your just threatening airspace and making Webb, trying to shut down ZSS's movement in a difficult task as that is. If you're able to be successful, then you can find yourself getting back into leads like this and being secure with your stocks, because if they're so worried about you floating around in mid-air, then they're not ready for the fast fall aerials.
Yeah, right now, WebbJP in a deficit looking at the loser's bracket if he's not able to bring this game back to his favor. But you know what? 85% is already dealt. ZSS is capable of taking the stock, but when you go for very antsy moves like that and go for raw attacks that could definitely punish you, you are not looking in favor of this match right now. Oh, that back air.
Yeah, clean stuff on the roll read from Webb as he is trying to regain some sort of space, covering this platform super well with the up smash, but still not able to find the kill. Oh, I love that air dodge away from Jen. He was able to hold down the corner and make the punch on the jab block, but nothing doing out of the down tilt as he goes for it again, but a good delay from Webb. He's holding it down thus far at this center stage, just walking forward and finding that grab. Jen is in so much control of this center.
Yeah, the mind games have finally been restored, but the back air is going to be enough to take the stock and even it back out to one stock apiece. ZSS is one of those characters that does not have any actual comeback mechanics, but has the potential to just run away with the game if you give her the chance. But Palutena is also a character that doesn't allow that to happen so frequently. So if you, WebbJP has a lot of ground to make up if he wants to bring the game back, but jumping right in front of that up smash will not be the answer as he goes 3-1 Jen's favor.
Yeah, just like on reaction, like seeing, oh, I saw ZSS, he's jumping forward with Zaire. That's it's a real great spot for Webb, right? And just, I'm gonna Zaire, it's -2, you have to worry about my frame one jab, like all this great stuff.